This video is for people who feel their blood pressure is silently controlling their life and want a safer, smarter way to take that control back after 60. After 60, high blood pressure does not always feel dangerous. That is the terrifying part. You can wake up normal, eat normal, walk normal, talk normal, and still, inside your arteries, pressure may be building like a silent storm. Most people think the answer is simple. Just eat less salt, take one tablet, walk a little, don't stress. But if it was that simple, why are millions of people still watching their numbers climb? Because after 60, blood pressure is not just about salt. It is about stiff arteries, weak circulation, hidden sugar spikes, poor sleep, wrong food timing, muscle loss, and sometimes the wrong medication strategy for the wrong body. This is where most people make the dangerous mistake. They treat the number, but ignore the system creating that number. In the next few minutes, you will discover 7 correct ways to treat high blood pressure after 60 using specific vegetables, specific exercises, and specific medication approaches that many people never hear explained clearly. And the last one matters the most because it may be the difference between simply lowering your blood pressure and protecting your heart before it gives you a warning you cannot ignore. First, Cruciferous Cardio Blast. Your arteries are not lazy, they are exhausted. After 60, high blood pressure is not just a number on a machine. It is pressure. Pressure against your heart, pressure against your brain, pressure against the tiny blood vessels inside your kidneys and eyes. And the scary part? You may feel completely normal while it is happening. That is why this first method is called the Cruciferous Cardio Blast, because sometimes the fight starts on your plate and continues with your feet. Broccoli, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. These are not just healthy vegetables. They are loaded with compounds that support your blood vessels, help your body handle inflammation, and may assist the natural systems that keep pressure under control. But vegetables alone are not magic. That is the mistake most people make. They eat one good meal, then sit all day. After 60, the body needs circulation. So pair these vegetables with one of the simplest blood pressure weapons ever studied: a brisk walk. Not a lazy stroll, a real walk, 30 minutes, most days of the week. Enough to breathe deeper, warm the body, and remind the heart that it still has work to do. And if blood pressure is already high, this is where medication may enter the story. Doctors often use medicines like low-dose diuretics to help the body remove extra fluid and reduce pressure. But never play hero with pills. Do not stop them. Do not change them. Do not guess, because the goal is not to look healthy. The goal is to stop silent pressure before it turns into a loud emergency. Second, root power lift. Your arteries are not asking for another miracle pill. They're asking for power from the ground. After 60, blood pressure often rises because the blood vessels become tighter, stiffer, and less willing to relax. And this is where root vegetables become interesting. Beetroot, carrot, radish. These are not just colorful foods on a plate. They are underground pressure fighters. Beetroot is rich in natural nitrates, which may help blood vessels open wider. Carrots bring antioxidants that support the inner lining of your arteries. Radish adds a sharp, mineral-rich punch. But food alone is not the full weapon. Now comes the lift. Resistance bands, light dumbbells, chair squats, wall push-ups, not heavy bodybuilding, not ego lifting, controlled strength. Because after 60, muscle is not just about looking strong. Muscle helps blood sugar control. It improves circulation. It trains your heart to work with less panic. 2 to 3 times a week, slow reps, steady breathing, no rushing. And for many people, doctors may add an ACE inhibitor like lisinopril to help relax blood vessels and reduce pressure from the inside. but never adjust medication alone. That is not confidence. That is gambling with your heart. Root vegetables feed the vessels. Strength training wakes the muscles. The right medicine protects the system. When these three work together, your blood pressure is being challenged at the source. Third, garlic greens yoga. Your blood pressure may not be rising because your body is weak. It may be rising because your body is stuck in alarm mode. After 60, the blood vessels don't relax as easily. The heart works harder. The arteries become stiffer. And stress doesn't just stay in the mind. It starts speaking through the pulse. This is where the garlic greens yoga method becomes powerful. Not magical, not overnight, but powerful. Garlic has compounds that may support better blood vessel relaxation. Spinach brings potassium and natural nitrates that help circulation. Celery adds hydration, minerals, and a clean, low-sodium crunch your arteries can actually appreciate. But food alone is not the whole weapon, because sometimes the real pressure is coming from the nervous system. That tight chest, that shallow breathing, that restless sleep, that silent tension sitting in the body. This is why gentle yoga matters after 60. Slow breathing, seated twists, leg stretches, supported forward bends. Even 20 to 30 minutes can send a message to the body. You are safe now. And when the body feels safe, the blood vessels often stop fighting so hard. For some people, doctors may also use medicines like ARBs, such as losartan, to relax blood vessels from the inside. Never change medication alone. Because the goal is not to attack blood pressure blindly. The goal is to calm the system creating it. And when garlic, greens, breathing, movement, and the right medical plan work together, your body may finally stop living like danger is always near. Fourth, Nightshade Swim Circuit. Your blood pressure does not need drama. It needs rhythm. And after 60, one of the smartest ways to create that rhythm starts in water. This is where the Nightshade Swim Circuit comes in. Not a fancy trend, not a miracle cure. Picture this: tomatoes, bell peppers, eggplant, 3 colorful nightshade vegetables. They bring potassium, fiber, antioxidants, and plant compounds your body can actually use. Tomatoes bring lycopene. Bell peppers bring vitamin C. Eggplant brings deep purple antioxidants hiding in the skin. But food alone is not the full weapon. The real magic begins when the body moves without punishment. Swimming, water walking, slow pool circuits, 30 to 45 minutes, 3 times a week. No pounding knees, no breathless ego workout, just steady resistance from the water, forcing your heart, lungs, and blood vessels to work cleaner. For many people after 60, this is the difference between exercise that heals and exercise that breaks them. And when medication is needed, doctors may use calcium channel blockers like amlodipine to help relax blood vessels and reduce pressure. But listen carefully. Swollen ankles, dizziness, or unusual fatigue are not things to ignore. They are messages. The Nightshade Swim Circuit is not about chasing a lower number for one day. It is about training your arteries to stop living in emergency mode. Because the goal is not just lower blood pressure. The goal is walking out of your 60s with a heart that still feels like it has years left to fight. Fifth, brassica bike ride. Your arteries don't need motivation. They need movement. After 60, high blood pressure is not always a loud emergency. Sometimes it is quiet, a slow tightening, a silent pressure building inside the body while everything outside looks normal. This is where the brassica bike ride comes in. Brassica means vegetables like cabbage, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts. Not fancy, not expensive, but powerful. These vegetables support blood vessel function because they are rich in natural compounds that help the body handle inflammation, circulation, and vascular stress. But here is the part most people miss. Food alone is not the full weapon. You have to move the blood. That is where cycling becomes dangerous to high blood pressure. Not extreme cycling, not racing, just 30 minutes of steady, moderate biking. 4 times a week. Enough to wake up the legs, enough to push circulation, enough to remind the heart that it still has work to do. And for some people after 60, doctors may use medications like beta blockers to slow the heart's workload and reduce pressure. But this is not a game of copying someone else's prescription. Beta blockers can affect heart rate, breathing, energy, and blood sugar warning signs. So this has to be handled with a doctor. The real message is simple. Cabbage feeds the system. Cycling trains the system. Medication, when needed, protects the system. When these three are combined correctly, blood pressure stops being just a number and becomes a warning signal you finally learned how to control. 6th, potassium parade. Your blood pressure is not just a number. It is a mineral war happening inside your body. And after 60, one of the quietest weapons in that war is potassium. Most people hear high blood pressure and immediately think too much salt. But here's the part they miss. Salt pushes pressure up, while potassium helps the body release extra sodium, calm vessel tension, and support smoother circulation. That is why the potassium parade matters. Sweet potatoes, white potatoes, zucchini, simple foods, but powerful players when used correctly. Not fried, not drowned in butter, not buried under salt, clean, steamed, baked, balanced. 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Not ego training, not punishment, circulation training. And here is where it gets serious. Some people on blood pressure medicines, especially diuretics, may lose potassium through urine. 30 minutes, 3 times a week. Not ego training, not punishment, circulation training. And here is where it gets serious. Some people on blood pressure medicines, especially diuretics, may lose potassium through urine. Others, especially with kidney problems or certain medications, may hold too much potassium. So this is not guesswork. This is why your doctor checks blood tests. Because the goal is not just lowering blood pressure. The goal is keeping your heart rhythm steady, your vessels relaxed, and your body protected from the silent damage you never feel coming. Potassium is not the whole cure, but ignore it after 60, and you may be fighting blood pressure with one hand tied behind your back. 7th, nitrate nitrocharge. Your blood vessels are running on 1% battery, and nobody told you where the charger is. After 60, your arteries do not just need less pressure, they need better flow. Because when blood vessels get stiff, tired, and narrow, your heart has to push harder, and that is where nitrate-rich foods become powerful. Not magic, not a cure, but a smart weapon. Beetroot, watercress, arugula. These are not just vegetables sitting quietly on a plate. Inside your body, they help support nitric oxide, a natural signal that tells your blood vessels, relax, open up, let the blood move. That is the nitrate nitrocharge. But here is where most people ruin it. They eat one healthy food, then sit all day. No. After 60, food needs movement. Try short interval walking. Walk normally for 1 minute, then pick up the pace for 30 seconds, then slow down again. Repeat for 15 to 20 minutes, only if your doctor says it is safe. This kind of movement wakes up circulation without pretending you are 25 again. And medication? Do not play hero. Some people need a thiazide, some need a beta blocker, some need a combination. But the right medicine depends on your pulse, kidneys, electrolytes, and fall risk. The foolish move is stopping tablets because you ate beetroot. The smart move is using food, movement, and medical guidance together. Because after 60, the goal is to keep your heart from fighting a war every single day. So here is the truth most people learn too late. High blood pressure after 60 is not just a number. It is a message from your arteries, your heart, kidneys, sleep, food, stress, muscles, medicine. And if you ignore that message long enough, your body may stop whispering and start screaming. The 7 methods you just heard are not miracle tricks. Broccoli will not save you by itself. Beetroot will not replace your doctor. Walking will not erase years of damage overnight. And no medication should ever be stopped just because you feel fine. That is the trap. High blood pressure often feels normal until the day it doesn't. So the real goal after 60 is not to chase one perfect reading. The goal is to build a system your heart can survive inside. Better vegetables, smarter movement, cleaner circulation, the right medication plan, and regular blood pressure checks that tell you the truth before your body forces you to hear it. Because every quiet choice you make now, the walk you take, the salt you reduce, the vegetables you add, the medicine you respect, the appointment you stop delaying, may be protecting you from a future emergency. So do not wait for fear to change you. Let awareness change you first. Your heart has carried you for more than 60 years. Now it is your turn to stop making it fight alone.